Hello everyone, and welcome to another Taunton Focused Nonprofits. We are on number 30 this month, and we are at Matthew Mission Food Pantry here at 76 Church Green. I've got Norm Grenier, who's the president, and I've got Dr. Robert Friedman, who is the fundraising extraordinaire, I've heard. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But Norm, can you give us a little bit of history? So we're located on the First Parish Church in the basement, and can you give us a little bit of history?
Right across from City Hall, which is the best, good place to be. We started in 2021. Many of you might remember that my predecessor, Mark Cook, had a respite center here for homeless people, but when he fell ill, they closed it down. But in 2021, the Taunton Clergy Association decided that what we needed in Taunton was more food pantries. You know, you say we have a food pantry, but just like you can't have one gas station, it takes multiple food pantries to keep things going. So in 2021, this church announced that that they were going to start a food pantry. I was a former director of a nonprofit, and I thought I was retired and looking for something to do to fill my time, and believe me, I found it. So, so now we started small in 2021. The first time we had 10 people. Then for like the first year or two, we had 30 people, then 60, then 90. Then there's SNAP benefits, there's no SNAP benefits, and so people get nervous, and the price of groceries keeps rising. So now we routinely expect on the second and fourth Saturdays, we expect between 120 and 150 people. And we did a survey one time, because we don't really ask any questions. We don't have like a lot of paperwork. But one time we did a survey, said how many people are from Taunton? And we found that 95% of our 150 would be from Taunton. People come here, they start lining up pretty early, and they come in, we give them, open the doors at like 8 o'clock in the morning, we give them a number, and then we have a self-selecting pantry. We don't hand them a bag of food. We let people select what they want, because we found that if you give people pickled beets or yams or something like that, they might just put them back in the donation bin. And so we're fortunate we have at least 4 churches that collect food for us every month. We have several people who send a check every month. And then we have fundraisers that pay for the rest. The only public support we have is the City of Taunton. They made a contribution this year from the, Healthy Outcomes Fund? Healthy Outcomes Fund. So thank you very much, the city. And I tell people, I'm from Taunton, a Whittington boy originally. The people in Taunton, we were never upper class, and we didn't want to be upper class. You know, we're kind of like the beer and the dog track type of people. That's how I grew up. But those people are extremely generous, because they know what it means when somebody needs help. And if you give people a bag of groceries, you know, they know what that means to some budgets, because increasingly, as everybody knows, the price of groceries keeps rising. It rises between rents and groceries. These things are outpacing what people can do.
It's getting insane. Can you talk a little bit about the food here? I know one of the things on your website, and you guys do have a great website, is the need for pasta sauce, ramen noodles, canned vegetables. I mean, anybody in the studio audience that is seeing this and has these kind of items, this is what.
Well, we accept everything except expired food.
Right.
See, we can't, out of respect for our people, we don't give expired food. And also the health department will come and inspect. I don't think that's like a problem. I think that's a value, because you want to keep a certain standard. You'd be surprised how many people come through the pantry and look at the bottom. And because you wouldn't give your kid, this is a true story, a can of anchovies from 2018. It's like, well, I wouldn't give my cat that.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't we don't accept expired food, but we do accept all kinds of food. But the basics, like you mentioned, you've been doing your homework, is cereal, pasta. During the wintertime, we collect a lot of soup, and there's peanut butter and rice. We also do toilet paper, and we have an entity that gives feminine products. We have another group in Pembroke that does MREs, that's meals ready to eat. Those are free. And like I say, we have 4 churches that are constantly delivering. And then we have a group of people who just show up on a Saturday morning, the second or fourth Saturday, and they bring a bag of groceries, or sometimes they bring a lot. And speaking of a lot of food, the Scouts have a Scouting for Food fundraiser, collection, I should say. And they, the last time they did it, they had the little Scouts put the bag on the mailbox. And then the older Scouts come the next Saturday and pick up the food. So I came around the corner on that Saturday, and every parking place was filled. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of people who responded. It was the Scouts, and all day long on that Saturday, truckloads of food arrived. And one of the Scout masters who was like mathematically inclined said, I'm going to calculate how much food it came. 8,500 pounds of food came. So we have a very close relationship with Scout Troop number 40 and Troop number 22. They're regulars. The kids call it my job. And a lot of people say like kids don't want to work. I found just the opposite. The more work you give them, as soon as they finish, they come back, hey, what else you want me to do?
Well, hold that thought, because right behind me is Scout.
That's right.
Work
so this is
at hand.
All of this shelving here was built by Tyler Nolet. He did his Eco Scout project. He built this. They had it all sort of, not prefab, they had it all ready. And in one day, there was maybe 20 people here, the Scouts and their parents, which is a great thing. The parents always come now. They built all the shelves because it takes a lot. Don't forget, when we started in 2021, we had no food, no shelves, no nothing,
Starting from scratch.
no money. And it was Eastern Bank actually gave us a substantial donation to start the food pantry. Like I said, I was a director of a nonprofit, and I knew Eastern Bank really well, and they thought, well, we'll take a risk on Taunton because, the Quill Cassidy, where I graduated, it had closed their pantry down. So.
Yep. Now, before we get handed off to Dr. Friedman to talk about the fundraising initiatives, you have a specialty days where people can drop off donations, correct? It's like a Friday and Saturday,
yes.
9:30 to 11:30. Am I right about that?
Generally speaking, we work here every Fridays because I have no respect for people who run grocery stores, because you think, okay, a pantry, pass out stuff. Well, passing out stuff is the long end of a long process. So we mostly appreciate people come during the hours so they can see a little bit of how the action is. But people can come on Friday mornings, especially if they drop us an email or something, let us know they're coming, because it takes a number of people to unload the vehicles and stuff. So,
Dr. Friedman,
yeah,
you've been working at this a while as far as fundraising for the food pantry. Can you talk about your efforts?
well, I've been doing fundraising bike rides really since 1997, and then 2000, actually 1999, a patient of mine, I asked her about what she did for exercise, and she said, I do a lot of bike riding. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing the Pan Mass Challenge in a couple of weeks, and that's how I found out about the Pan Mass Challenge. And I did that for 25 years. I know a lot of people, since I had a large medical practice in Middleborough for about 35 years, and I knew a lot of doctors, and so I was able to raise a huge amount of money for the Pan Mass Challenge. So I did it for 25 years, and last year I felt, well, there's so many riders, there's 6,500 riders, it's such a crowded thing. I decided, well, I think I'm not going to do this anymore. But I knew about, from actually a patient of mine who's the treasurer for the Matthew Mission Food Pantry. I've donated to the pantry. I've gone to some of their fundraisers. And last winter, after I had this idea, I said, hey, I'm going to be 80 years old. What if I do an 80-mile bike ride to raise money for the pantry? And they thought it was a terrific idea. So starting quite a few months ago, I sent letters to almost all my donors from the Pan Mass Challenge. And then I also got this idea. I had a huge list of prior patients. And I went through the list, and I said, well, this guy's an electrician, this guy's a plumber, they can probably donate. So I sent out hundreds of letters to prior patients. Wow. And so far I've raised almost $24,000.
That's amazing.
Altogether.
That's amazing. And what happens with that? So he gives you money and you just go shopping? Is it like a shopping spree for the pantry?
it's a game changer. So don't forget, we went from 60 to 120, sometimes 150. So that was a game changer. So we went down to opening just once a month. And then when all the trouble with SNAP benefits, it was like playing poker and opening on guts. We decided we would open twice a month. But we did not have a financial plan. We just decided this is what needs to be done.
Yep.
And so that literally would double our fundraising needs. And we didn't really expect that one person would do that, but that's what happened. So I call it, this is a game changer of fundraising because it enables us to open twice a month and serve 240 people or 300 people, you know. Yeah, one time we had 184 people show up. And believe it or not, we could do that because we have reserves. We have several volunteers, there's at least 3 of us, who work over 24, 25 hours a week. We don't have any paid employees, by the way. Everything is volunteer. So we have some overhead, like is normal, to pay for the lights and stuff like that. But it's all volunteer. So when people give us money, the money shows up on the shelves. We never buy like one thing or even a case of things. Or if something goes on sale, our buyers will go to the supermarket and say, well, I'll take 100 of those, or 400 of these, or 500 of those.
Dr. Friedman, I mean, 25 years doing the Pan Mass Challenge, but you never really see your donations being impacted or the people that are getting your donations. You did all that time, but this is like the rare case where you're actually donating money and you can see how it's being impacted in a way.
Well, the Pan Mass Challenge, I could see the treatment of cancer improved so much. From when I first started in 1972, I've been a doctor since then, the treatment of cancer was barbaric.
Yeah.
And it improved so much. So I saw that. I mean, that's for
great.
sure.
Yep.
And of course now I'm seeing this. You know, the treasurer, who's my friend, the problem is, I told him I'm doing this 80-mile ride for my 80th birthday. So I asked him for some more stamps the other day, and he comes over with 300 stamps and another 500 envelopes. And I said, well, I don't need all this. He said, what about next year? I said, I didn't say I was doing it next year.
That's awesome. That's great.
And now you're on TV, you know, you're like, hey, 81 miles next year. You should switch to kilometers. I say kilometers.
Maybe we'll go backwards. It was 79.
That's great, though. We appreciate your impact, though, because it's clearly had an impact on people that need it the most.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you, sir.
He also follows up, though, as he came here to see, which I appreciate. I just said many city councilors have, actually the majority of the city councilors have been here to witness. Okay, they come here, and they're surprised sometimes at who they see because it's people they know.
Yeah, and that's the thing people need to realize. You don't know who comes here, who needs this food. It could be your neighbor, it could be your friend that just doesn't want to admit it. And that's why the need for donations, for monetary donations, are so great here. If you can spare it, if you have the food to donate, you need to do it. It's be really appreciated.
Because I was a professional nonprofit guy, I looked up the census tract and what the median income was. So the median income in Taunton is in 60,000 something, but the median income of the tract we're in, across from City Hall, is only like 35,000, at least for the census tract that I said. So it's like, even though I used to walk past here to go to Coyle High School, I never realized how many people were needy, because we have a lot of senior citizens, we have people in recovery, and people in single room occupancy, and some homeless people, because of Mark Cook and his service to them. They know us, they come here, and we're able to help them in actually more ways than just the food. So we're very happy with that.
And before we go, let's talk a little bit about the book. You were showing me the kids' library and books and stuff.
Well, that's one of my favorite things. It's behind you, so I don't know if you can see it. But, you know, the thrift shop always had like hundreds of children's books. And I thought, you know what, why don't we just have we'll put some shelves out there and we'll fill it full of children's books. So people who come here on a regular basis with their little kids, the little kids come through the door and they go right to the shelves and take out a children's book. So I love that, and we have some dolls over there, a friend of mine donated. It's just, we try to do these little extra things to show people that, you know, they're special.
Books for a child are so precious.
You'd be surprised.
Really
A kid, they make a beline right over
great.
there. And then the only question we might ask is, say, you want a bag for that? We don't care how many books they take, because people are very generous in that regard.
Okay, let's recap. So you're open 2 Saturdays a month, second and fourth.
Yep. 8:30 to 10:30.
Okay, and then you're looking for donations,
Yep.
either physical canned pasta sauce, canned vegetables, and you collect those Friday and Saturday
Yes.
mornings.
Yep.
Okay, and you've got books too, and please, if you can consider donating or bringing food by here.
Yeah.
Clearly the need
And
is
we
great.
need to
we
say
appreciate
thank you because, you know, we're not scrounging. You know, if we need to go to the store and get 500 cans of tuna, we can. Because, like I said, the people in our area, they know what it means to lend a hand to somebody else, and they do it.
And you got powerhouses
I got,
that
like-
fundraise
he's the
like
muscle.
this,
He's-
right? So you
he's
can
the-
just
the-
buy
he's
cases
like
of
the
tuna
muscle.
thanks to Dr. Friedman. So, well,
I'm doing the ride with 2 other people. One is John Garvey, who volunteers for the pantry, and the other one is a friend of mine. Now, John is 18 years younger than me, and the other guy has a motor on his bike.
no cheating there, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Norm, I know you do all this out of the kindness of your heart as a volunteer and president here.
I
So thank
love
you
it.
for all you're doing
I love it.
here, because clearly the need is great and it's getting greater.
Yeah.
So we thank you for your efforts.
Oh,
Dr.
thank you.
Friedman, what you did, $24,000, that's just amazing. And we appreciate your time on that. And thank you very much for joining us today for our Taunton Focused Nonprofits. If we can get one person that didn't know about the Matthew Mission Food Pantry to donate or give money, then this succeeds. So thank you very much for your time today.
thank
And
you.
Have a great day.
All right.
We're
Thanks for
signing
coming.
off. Thank you very much. Another Taunton Focused Nonprofits, number 30 at the Matthew Mission Food Pantry here at 76 Church Green. Have a great day.